Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, boys, girls. Good evening to all of you out there. Once again, we found ourselves back into sim racing and at Logistical Nightmares. This evening, we are at one of my best and favorite tracks, Brands Hatch. Boys in their various classes, different teams, will battle it out with GT4s at a prestigious English country racing circuit. And to be fair, it is one of the most challenging circuits on any sim racing platform whatsoever. I don't care who you are, where you're from, where have you been, how far you have traveled, whether it is Gran Turismo Sport, Project Cars, ACC, iRacing. Brands Hatch is one of those tracks that will challenge every single driver. The elevation, the turns, the epic proportions where focus is so needed, that brings a whole new level to the sim racing side. And just as we talk about it, two boys going head-to-head collision on the qualifying session. I don't even think that was expected or even thought about, but it went horribly wrong there. So welcome again, boys, and again everyone on stream, Paul and Kaiser and Frankie and who else is out there, man. Thanks for joining. I mean, thanks for watching. I'm probably not the best commentator in the whole wide world, but I can assure you I'm going to try and make this as entertaining as possible. So, back at the racing side of it, this is the qualifying session. These boys have got 10 minutes to put the best time on in a GT4. Now, challenges we all know from a GT4 standpoint is that it takes so much longer to warm up your tires. And looking at Gary, seems to be the one out on track, maximizing that whole curve from end to end, trying to get the best that he can in every corner. And everywhere I look, there's boys going off the track. That is exactly what makes Brands Hatch so difficult. It has that ability to want you to race quick. It makes you feel as if you can go 15 seconds faster, and then you wonder, why am I not going faster? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. I mean, pushing, persevering, going a bit too wide of a corner, touching your tire with a bit of grass, sand, oversteer, understeer. The more you fight this track, the less it rewards you. This is my approach. And being a sim racing driver, I don't think it's that easy. It's just not challenging as you may seem. So, guys on point tonight is Frost, and I think even from looking at where and what they did during the practice session, which was 20 minutes ago, I saw very low 133s. Didn't expect to see a 132.9 on the qualifying board. That is pace of epic proportions. So this evening, I would guess, is the battle of the big boys. GTAS Frost, Eleanor Pace, Skitty 1, and then of course, for the boys that remember last week, Mr. Popcorn ZA that maximized us all, surprised us all with his first podium position of the series. Top 3 winners so far. Frost has taken 2 victories. Eleanor Pace has taken some victories. I believe Skitty is yet to provide us a victory, yet he's been battling very hard, and I don't think I see him this season. Oh, there he is, down at the bottom. Hasn't put a lap time yet. Frost smashes his first lap time with another half a second on the dot there. And speaking of Skitty, Bree brings it up into second place with his one, looks like a 143 dead-ish. That is not yet in the 32 mark, so he's got to go around again and try and get that. Popcorn Zere, the third podium winner last week in third position, is 0.2 of a second down onto Frost. He is, of course, the teammate of Eleanor Pace, who is yet to record a lap. This is going to be Pace putting it on the block. Time made Eleanor Pace in the 132s as well, 0.3 off the fastest lap. So Porsche is hunting down what I would call probably the Astons. One of the cars I love the most, an Aston in this track. Beauty. Class by an exceptional note. I really think it's going to be hard beating anyone in an Aston this evening. These boys have got their hands full. Pace and Skitty is up for a huge amount of challenge. Porsche versus Aston, that's what I kind of call it. Some of the boys also very well known. Eleanor Dave in his Mercedes this season brings it up with a Mercedes in the GT Cross, took Mercedes in his GT4. He's hunting down RTA Mutua, also in a Mercedes, fellow teammate of Skitty. This team hasn't had the best ordeal coming throughout the season. Be challenging hurdle by hurdle by hurdle. First race, I don't believe they were part of it. Only started racing actually as a fully team members in race 2. They have plenty to make up for, plenty bragging rights though, because I do believe that they were the victory winning season champions of our first team versus team. Hence they came back and called themselves the fast ones. This season wasn't that easy, wasn't that simple, and that is purely because other individuals came to play. Eleanor Pace is back in his form. GTA's Frost from the GTA's team is in their forms, struggling to gain the whole momentum because his teammate GTA is slow, also in an Aston, not seemingly hitting the marker as what they would have wanted to. This man had a lot of pace in the beginning of the season, started to fall down as the season progressed, but I don't think I can actually classify that as a man that has lost momentum. I just think everyone else on the series has. Look at that, just as we speak about it, the man hits up top 6. Aston for the victory this evening. This is where it's gonna go. Robin Dobbin also in an Aston, and he's always been known to hit the marker. Top 5 is where he average qualifies. Hard to look at this and see him down there in 9th position. Dave in 10th position. Fireblade hitting the marker in 7th. Sarge definitely came to the playing field. And then we have the other individuals there at the back. Robin now currently in 10th. Someone did improve their time. Dave went up to 1st. That seems to be very normal. That is where this man does perform. On the last lap, he went out and smashed it. Gonna go back to the pits. Probably gonna hope no one improves on his time. I am expecting Robin to do a better lap. Robin and Dave fighting, I would say, for honor, for pure honor. Because internally, it's always just looked like these boys have fought each other throughout and throughout, but they challenge each other week by week. Previously teammates, this season they're driving against each other. More boys in play. OJJ with his Porsche. Jacko back with his black Mercedes. Definitely looking good all over. Keeping an eye out on Robin. He is trying to finish it up. Last few corners for everyone to make it worth it. GTA's Frost seems to be the boy. Car number 22. That looks like Mulgary, I believe. Mulgary. 22 and 25 finished. Looking at Checo, he's into his final corner. Will he get into the top 10? Improves on his time, but not that much. Robin sits still out in the top 10. And then last but not least, I believe that was Kale, no, OJJ. Coming around the bend, does he improve on his penultimate lap? Final lap? He does! OJJ smashes it in 16th position. Happy days for the man. He must be ecstatic. And we have Kel VDB also in his Porsche. Final few corners down the straight. Doesn't really improve. Ooh, lots of work for this man to do this evening. Where do we stand? Where do we stand? Let's turn back to the garage, man. Timetables from a qualifying session point of view of epic proportions. Epic proportions. Pacecorn seems to be on form, taking once again from a winning position. And again, last week, Pacecorn, Team Pacecorn, LNR Pace, Popcorn were challenging the winner or the leader, GTAS Frost, for big victories. This week they come out guns blazing and takes second and third place on the qualifying sessions. That is epic. That is team points to the winning end. We all know we're fighting for individual drivers, but team driver championships, this is what it's all about. These boys are bringing their A game. Looking at the overall qualifying session, besides talking to the top 3 boys, RTA Moutois is in 4th. Qualified with good first and second sectors. It seems like he's got that Mercedes on par. That looks very quick with the fastest first and second sector. I think if he rounds off that final sector, this man is going to be dangerous this evening. LNR Dave in 5th, Skitty in 6th. Unusual to see this man there. Definitely. It is one of those things. It doesn't matter which sim racing community you go and watch these boys. If the battle between these guys are this close, within a second for the top 10 boys, then you know tonight's going to be good racing. And I do hope you boys are seriously ready for some great entertainment. Following it up, Sarge is 7th, GTA is slow in 8th, Fireblade in 9th, Robin Dobbin in 10th, Mulgarian 11th, Checo in 12th, J Double Opace in 13th, Frankie with his KTM and the only KTM on track. Good to see the man with the KTM. In 14th, from Charlie, partner of Dave in 15th. OJJ smashing it out there in 16. NTZ in his AMR in 17. And then we've got Kel VDB Pace, final grid position in 18th with his Porsche. Good grid. Various different types of cars. I don't know. If I had to call it, I would probably go Aston versus Porsche versus Mercedes. The question stands is who's gonna take the victory here. We've got 55 minutes of racing, right? So plenty of action all over for the next 55 minutes. Boys are gonna go out, guns blazing. Track is optimum, only sun, 27 degrees, so it's nice and hot. Very unusual for a summer period in the UK, but it is where it is. This is us looking at the grid all the way from start to finish. 18 boys ready to race on franchise. I wish them all the luck and good luck. This is the out lap. Time to warm up some tires, get it up and running. Again, GT4s, they take so long to get anything right and ready, especially from a tire warming up position. Just get all the limiters right. Currently looking at the boy that out qualified everyone by a few hundredths of a second. tonight he's going to be chased down by Team Pace Core. Again, Popcorn Zera and Eleanor Pace. Those boys look very hungry for a victory this evening. I bet you that man wishes where his teammate was. Sadly, his teammate could only fracture in 8th position. Top 10 boys within a second. Times are very close. Battles are going to be intensified. And it all depends on what these boys are going to do around the most challenging corners on Branch House. Paddock, Hill Bend, down the way from Pilgrim's Rise into, I believe it's called Druids. I'm just call it Corner 2. That is where everything can change. Those watching on the stream, I don't know. Normally there's lots of bets going on here and there. Paul is shouting out for Skitty didn't arrive and drive today. Oh really? Don't think arrive and drive is the best optimal, but sometimes it works. And at one other point, it's all you can do. Busy schedules, busy schedules. In general terms, I do hope that we see a good result from everyone. Is the outlap. Boys are getting it up and ready. Final couple of corners. See where we're setting it. Frost. Coming down Clearways. We're gonna head over to Blocks Curve, which is where everyone is going to line up side by side action. Individuals making and squaring each other up. It's all about who we can do. ACC bringing the cars up for a start, race, finish. Wow, sorry. A grid lineup down the straight. Looks very close. Not 100% sure if that man should be there, but he is where it is. We're waiting for green. Ready to go. It's green, green, green. This is where it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna have this view for now, looking at the leaders going back. Giving the side view, one individual going down. What a cut. Other than that, it looks clean and beautiful. Base going on the challenge with KLM. GTA has first got a good go. That looks like Dave. Good start for him. He's being chased down by Mutois, so he seems to have gapped Mutois. Boys in the back are fighting. My Telemonies are catching up slowly. Frost wants to gap this man because the more space he makes, the better his offers. His fear is for those two individuals right behind him to chase him down and then one overtake him. So he needs to take the opportunity, get the car out there, create the gap, get the momentum and move forward. Race pace wise, looks like everyone is everyone is fairly a-okay except for one man, and that is not going to be a happy man, that I can tell you. I don't know what happened there, but he is going to be upset. Upset is what I call it. All the way at the back, race start didn't go as planned. Everyone seems to be fairly bunched up to one another, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Could have been a tap, could have been something else. Pit lane is open. Immediately Dave goes on the defense. RTA Mutois is hungry. Is this the evening that Mutois sets the record straight and puts it on the mark? Gets that podium, the one that he's been wanting the whole season, the one that he's been searching for, or is that all going to be denied by Dave? Again, it's all about consistency, all about race pace. Kitty there sitting very comfortable. He is backing it off, knows that it's his teammate right ahead of him. Teammate's going to go and challenge him. He has got a buffer in between himself. Robin, the GTA is slow. Checo, Bulgari, J Doble. Fireblades in the pits. So he's gonna take an opportunity, get it all done and dusted for. Get out the pits, do some clear laps, and then be a contender at the end of the race. That's where you can make it up. It's probably not a bad idea, considering the circumstances and conditions that has occurred at the start of the race for that man. 17 drivers seem to have gotten it clear off. One was affected, but the boys are racing, that is for sure. Battles everywhere. OJJ even in the mix here. He's got J Doble ahead of him, Kale VDP right behind him. Two Porsches fighting it side by, well, close battles, not side by side, but definitely battling. So everyone else here giving it all they can. Dave feels the move, feels the momentum. He looks very racy this evening. Not so long ago did Moutois. Not sure if the Porsche is the best car for this track, but it's good to see one of them up there. Pace is gonna make that Porsche as big as it is. Just look at it in comparison. It's just like David and Goliath. And Merc looks humongous versus that Porsche. Oh, Dave has got a good run on him on the outside. That does make Pace close the gap. Ooh, close racing here. Dave backs off a bit. Knows he's got to make the move stick, but it's not going to be very easy. Pace going very wide. He is going to not be in the position to defend. A momentum lost there. That Porsche's got nothing. Oh, Pace is struggling. Pace is struggling. Dave going very deep inside. He wants the position. Looks on the inside. Sticks it on the inside. That is a good move. Fantastic. Had no real choice there. Came right next, side by side by Pace. Went with the furthest inside line possible and made it stick. There goes Pace. Makes another mistake. Ooh, this man's not going to be happy. Like I indicated, Brands Hatch is all about pace and momentum. You lose your momentum, you lose everything. Then you're going to start challenging and battling the track and the car. And once you do that, momentum is lost. Gotta get your groove back on. Pace is struggling. Dave is taking the gap. He is far away. Moutois is now the one fighting for this position. Boys on the stream is shouting for their car. Mr. Dave, I am looking for battles everywhere alongside. Moutois is the closest one to Pace. Pace does seem like he is struggling. Not getting that car right, going a bit too far. Speed of that Merc is miraculous. Just look at it coming down the straight. And then as soon as they get out of clock curve, the Porsche makes valiant effort. Fairly sure he's got a lot of wing on the car just to keep it intact. The weight of the Bergs and the Astons just make it so much easier to get around the corners. Porsche has the ability to get out of the exits fairly quickly. You gotta make the move count way beforehand. Biggest battle on track is these boys, and then at the back, still a couple of ones here. Gary trying to chase down Checo, and Checo is in a Mercedes as well. So this is McLaren versus Mercedes. Far back here we have NTZ and his Aston. He was there, he's not there anymore, lost a lot of momentum from Charlie. Coming up from the rear in 15 positions, he's got Gale all over, well he's all over Gale in one Aston versus Porsche. sticks it out very wide, gets a bit slippery coming out the exit. Boys in front are getting way closer than what they were before. Frost had the gap. He is being chased down by those boys there. Maybe just slid up, made a small mistake. Ooh. Just as I was about to say that, there's another battle. Dave is hungry. Don't know what happened this evening. Someone ate their wheat pigs. It ain't me. Now this could all be based on fuel. All those little things can come to play here. The boys going very quickly at this moment. Might be lower on fuel. Could be fuel dependent. A half a tank of fuel. This is only a 55-minute race. You gotta take and capitalize everything as best you can. That is slow. He has got Robin all over the back of him. Not so long ago he was right behind Sarge in the McLaren. He's lost a bit of momentum. Needs to zone in, refocus. Robin has gained a couple of positions. Again, another man to get ahead. So for this evening, 55-minute race on a GT4, plenty of things happen. This is why I love GT4 racing. I mean, anyone can say whatever they want. GT4 racing, for some other weird reason, is just good action, great action, close battles, side by side, nose to tail situations, and you can see the back is not that spread up. They are all within a few seconds, a tenth, 100ths from each other. From Charlie, now in 14th position, he seemed to have managed to pass Gale VDB. He is now tracing down OJJ, also in his Porsche, and I'm fairly sure that will be one of the battles we're going to try and keep my eye onto. GTA is slow. Robin, Sarge, these three are going big actions here. McLaren versus Aston. Ooh, GTA is slow. They're going like over the park just to try and gain as much momentum as he can. In-game penalties will still apply. Drive-throughs will apply. So cut the track too much and you will be punished. It just looks like for some other weird reason that McLaren, I would have said, is good in Sector 3, but Sarge made a big mistake there. And so did Slow. He went very wide. Ooh, that looks like another wide entry there by Sarge. Off the track, loses everything into the sand pit. 2 positions made up, 2 positions lost. Sarge will not be happy about that because now he has Checo all over the back of him and Mulgari. So from 2 individuals ahead of him, aka Slow and Robin, now he has got more guys behind him, aka Checo and Mulgari. Welcome boys, Alvin, Sharks. Definitely a good race here. GT4's bringing it up. Competition is everywhere. But back to some of the front leaders. Boutoir versus Pace. This is the Team Pace Corn versus the Fast Ones. Sexy Merc there. Love the color scheme. Don't know what it is with me and bright colors, but I definitely like it. Does look like Pace has found his momentum, sticking it into it, finishing it up here by Clark corner. or Clark Curve coming down the straight. Has this whole swooping loop. That elevation from up to bottom is massive. Well, going very deep in that corner, that's a bit unusual. Strange line there. He would have lost a bit momentum. Dave, in second. I have no clue where I have missed that. But Dave has made up yet another position. He has now got popcorn behind him, and Dave is chasing down what I would call GTAS Frost. Big points for Dave. This man is smelling the victory. Champagne bottles everywhere. Not yet there though. 40 minutes of racing, lots can happen. You might have a good momentum, good feel for the first stint of your race, and then comes stint 2 and then it smashes you out of the park. 55 minutes of pure concentration. This is what Branch has done. British track. Of course, this man with his loping, not his own country, but up here showing everyone that this is where the race is. Guys on the stream going, Dave's coming for the victory. I kind of think he is. He is looking very strong. I have no clue where this pace came from. Like, none. Look how close he is to that leader. This is a man that qualified somewhere around in 5th position. From the start up until now, he has passed 3 individuals, chasing down the leader of the race. Don't want to go away. I'm just looking at best battles everywhere. Robert Dobbin and GTA Slow still battling it out here. Skitty chasing down Mutua, who has got Eleanor Pace in his eyesight. Then we have Mulgary here. Looks like he's a bit alone. Not in that much. Still chasing down OJJ. Charlie has made some good moves and positions. He managed to pass OJJ, though made up some time. I think he qualified around about 15th position. Having a good race, Everything is up for grabs here. Now the guy I'm going to keep my eye out on is this one though. Fireblade did have some incident on lap 1. So I'm not 100% sure what happened. He did go into the pit quite early. Again, all the boys have to do is do a bit of fuel change and then they can carry on. So let's see where this brings him out at the end of the race. This is when everyone starts pitting, get all their pit stops sorted. Eleanor Pace is in the pits. As we see, that releases Mutua to go down and hunt down these boys ahead of him. And for some weird reason, these boys are definitely still battling. Slight momentum lost there by Dave to Frost. That's probably Frost going, no ways is he losing this. That doesn't make Popcorn wanting to lose either. These 3 Oaks want a victory. Frost wants a 3rd victory for the season. Managed to bring us a good one home last week. Epic race from him. One race 1 and race 2, and that was on the first night when we kicked the season off. Is he gonna finish it off with a big victory there as well? Eleanor Pace out the pits. Now, bit of traffic ahead of them. He is ahead of Fireblade and Sarge, so plenty of racing still to come. Boys bumping and grinding everywhere. Ooh, that looked like someone went off. I somehow have the feeling that was J Doble. Yes, J Doble went off 2 positions lost. That could be 3. OJJ is right there behind him. He's going directly into the pits. Mark Gary now back in 7th. Robin in... sorry. Yeah, that would be 8th. Sorry, Robin in 7th. Skitty and Mutois, the 2 teammates. They are chasing each other down. I do wonder if these boys are on like communication, talking to each other side by side, one pushing each other, Mutois going like, I'm going. Skitty goes like, you have to. I don't know. I can just imagine that's happening. Still good results for them if they finish up where they are now. If we had to call this a race, this is not a bad finish. Again, still feel Mutois wants a podium. But he's gonna have to work very hard for it. Top running boys at the moment is Frost. He is being chased down by Dave. Not by much, because it's all about momentum. Gotta continuously keep it up. A couple of hundredths of a second a lap quicker will allow you to gain the gap. And again, there, once again, 2 tenths up there by Frost. He is putting it down, making everyone aware that it's not gonna be easy. You might be able to chase him down, but you're not gonna get past him. The big race coming here. I suspect this is gonna be a difference of who's gonna pit first versus undercut versus can you get those tires back up to speed again. Do you reckon a tire change will help it? Because again, this is Brian Judge. It's GT4's 55 minutes of racing. I necessarily don't believe the tire change is needed. You should be able to do a full hour stint without doing any tire changes. You'll potentially see the wear and maybe feel it, give or take on your lap times, depending on end results. But potentially tire change will kill your race and momentum. That is just 30 seconds lost, and to be fair, anything within a second or more per lap is so much harder to get and even gain back. Like as you've seen here, not so long ago, Frost was 1.4 seconds ahead. He is now less than a second ahead. Lap down, more, 2 tenths down. Dave is bringing it up the rear there, making Frost aware that this ain't over until the fat lady sings. No offense to any fat ladies out there. Wasn't meant upon you or to you. Do look out for those guys. Pace. Moving up the ladder. He is now passing OJJ. Going on the outside. Great exit there from Clark's curve. It's very comfortable now. On pace, on momentum, no stress surrounding him. Just got to put the lap times down. 33 minutes of racing to go. Plenty of guys still need to pit. Sarge has gone into the pits with his McLaren. Made a few mistakes in the beginning. That is very wide coming down paddock hill. Definitely lost his brake marker or brake point. Went in too late, too deep, and this is a bit too wide. How do I get close to that? Okay, let's go look at the leader a bit. Focus here. Good cut there by Frost. Find your brake marker. Hug the curb. Throttle it out into Graham Hill Bend, and this is where it gets tricky because you got to mark it properly. Use the wider line as much as you can. Don't go too wide because you go into the grass. Now, Turfies, I would guess, one of the most challenging corners on Bradjazz was that one. There is so many entry and exit lines down there. Some take the wider one, some take the inner corner. Big fan of Marathon Bend. Hawthorne Bend, sorry, Hawthorne Bend. And then the famous two right-handers. Slight mistake there by Frost. Final corner. Slides the rear. That does bring that Merc a lot closer in. Two minute mistakes in the lap. Other than that, it actually looked quite perfect. And on point. Dave, again, much closer than what he was not so long ago. Having a race this evening. Hugs the corner. And that's quite different if you look at the two individual drivers taking the line there. Frost going very wide. Dave took a shorter line there. Puts him a lot closer than what he was. Does he have enough speed and momentum to make a move stick? Probably a bit too far. All about making it happen, figuring out where you can. These top three boys are very close to each other. Skitty has moved into 4th position. Now, I would guess, yes, Mutois has pitted, and Mutois is in 12th. Again, that is quite far away from pace. I mean, pace is now coming down into Hawthorne's Bend. Mutois is only 3 or 4 corners away from him, so that is big pace there by pace. Not sure if something went wrong from a pit strategy point of view, but Mutois is behind Sarge even, so something had to go horribly wrong there for him. Lost so much time and momentum and speed and position. And now what makes it worse is he's got a back marker in between them, so he now has to pass that back marker to even go and challenge Sarge for position. So winner at this stage, just purely based on a couple of pit stops, is Sarge and pace. Good move there. Let's make it count. Good clean racing. Boys are giving it all. Fireblade is back in the mix. He is 15th position, but that is not where he qualified. So this man's still got a lot to catch up. Everyone ahead of him has pitted. He is far behind J Doble, who's in 14th, Mutois in 15th. So there is still a lot that can happen. From individuals going into the pits, Charlie is now in 8th position. Happy days for him. Robin Dobbin and GTA S Slow. These two boys are still battling it out. And I think they've been battling since we started the race. In close contention, going to the maximum. I think if I was a strategic man, I would push it till the end of the race, do a final pit stop. Doing one now mid-race, not so sure if that is the best idea. So fuel it up for the whole race and then get into the thoughts and mentalities of having a pit stop. Pace looking very good though. I mean, Ooh, that's a very wide entry. That would definitely lose you at least half a tenth to a second on your lap time performance. Battling it out, Dave. He seems to have caught up on some traffic. I don't know who that is traffic-wise. Could be Kale, no Checo. But these guys are seeing traffic, and again, these are the individuals that has gone to the pits. Popcorn in pits, popcorn in pits. So first of the top three heading into the pits. Time for him to fill it up and then continue the race. As I've indicated, I don't think tire change is anything worth it. Frankly, heading out the pits now with his KTM looks to be like a good pit stop. Any traffic that he gets fed into, not that much. Popcorn in. Dave did lose a bit of momentum with a couple of back markers, but he can make it up. He's still got thrust in his eyesight. Robin Dobbin and these boys are fighting each other. Popcorn coming out of the pits. Is he ahead of pace? Yes, no, he's not. No, he is not. That is Eleanor Pace. That is leapfrogged his teammate. Leapfrogged, I tell you. Leapfrogged. Who would have imagined that? Like, have you ever? Ooh, and then he goes wide, very, very, very wide. The Lemurities are gonna pick up. Popcorn is gonna scratch his head and go like, he was behind me, now he's ahead of me. Game on, race on, Pace is back in it. Never say die. The man went into the pit, struggled at the beginning of the race, and now he's just leapfrogged his teammate. Leapfrogged. I don't know how many times I can say that, but oh dear. OJJ, stop go 30-second penalty. That kind of tells me that someone was a naughty boy coming out of pit stops. So he needs to go back into the pit, serve his penalty in this game. Gotta get that car slowed down when entering the pits. I mean, Brands Hatch is difficult from a pit entry, pit exit point of view. I have to admit it. If anyone is everyone, Frost and Dave needs to keep their eye open. Because there's no time to play around. That is what I would call it. Pace is potentially going to fight for a pole or a podium. One of the two. It's going to be W or P. Because he smashed it out of the park 2 seconds ahead of his teammate. Now if we looked at it from a 2-second point of view, prior to Popcorn going into the pits, that would put you in between Frost and Dave. And I can assure you, these boys are not gaining the best lap times being stuck in traffic. They gotta hope for clear air. They gotta hope for best lap times. They gotta hope that no one stops them from completing their laps. So far it's looking quite good. I don't see anyone impeding their laps. Fast and slow, battling it out. These boys are getting a lot closer than what they were before. But then again, they have been like this for most of the race. And I do love watching Brands. I mean, if you it's one of my favorite times, man. I definitely love it. Even if you come down the straight at Brands Hatch, heading into Paddock Hill Bend, so many drivers take so many different lines. And you can look at it from this point of view. You will get the individuals that will hug it. You'll get those that goes fairly wide. I mean, that's a hug and a go wide entry exit. Dave losing a bit of pace. Pace is on form. I don't know what happened. Probably grabbed his Red Bull. But this is a different man compared to the one started the race. 2.5 seconds a drift from his teammate. And again, Popcorn was podium. A potential podium. Not even. Eleanor Pace was fighting with Mutois, who is now about a whole straight and 2 corners ahead of this man. Unbelievable. That is a massive advantage for an undercut. If I can even call that an undercut. I have no clue what to call that. I am gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. Yeah, 21 minutes to go on a race pace. Big battles here. These are the boys to watch out. I'm just gonna go slow. Check this out a bit. This is a very good day for Slow, doing phenomenally well. And again, of course, he needs to pit. But from a race battling point of view, this is where it happens. And I don't believe GT3s belongs on Brands Edge. I mean, from a racing point of view, we should just keep all GT4s on Brands Edge. No GT3s on Brands, because it's an animal unleashed into the wild if you put a GT3 car on Brands Edge. It doesn't belong there. By the way, a wild animal does belong in the wild, but a wild animal doesn't belong in a cage. Let me put it that way. Let's go back. I've like completely cocked this up. So putting a wild animal in a cage is like putting a GT3 on track. Doesn't belong there. Not on Brands Edge. But putting a GT4 car on Brands Edge is like taking a wild animal, setting it free. That's a beautiful combination. I think everyone will agree on this. I might just reconsider and go like, no more GT3s on Brands Edge, except on GT Sport. I bet you those boys from GT Sport are gonna give me the eyebrow look. As why? Why? Get that. Pace is caught up with him, Charlie. Then again, even though Pace has got technically track position purely because he has put, he still needs to race with Charlie for position. So this is going to be one of those slight dilemmas. This is for position. It's not just purely give up or blue flag or anything. Charlie has the right to defend his line. It is for position. Gotta make it happen. Now, some individuals will frown about that, because there is technically no need for that. I'm all for open race. Pace has got to find a way. Ooh, Charlie goes very wide. That opens the door for Pace. Pace will take it. It says, thank you, sir. See you later. And he's now going to go and chase down Robin, who's not that far away from him. And that's quite a bit. That's a bit. Pace has made up another position. He is opening up a gap that now leaves Popcorn to go and challenge from Charlie for position. That might take a little while. Leaders getting into it. Back to the head of the pack. Aston versus Merc. Scotty's still in there, but his teammate is down at the bottom. I'm yet to... I'd love to hear what happened. This is my thought. What did actually happen? Gotta get a couple of things right and ready. This is ACC console night. Fireblade is still there in one of the individuals. Sorry. At a moment of a lapse, they had to do a couple of things. Let's go back. Fireblade struggled in the beginning. He is still there in play, 13th place. I still feel this is not where the man should be. I really recall that he qualified quite well. I mean, where did he qualify? Where did he qualify? 13th though. Okay, so qualified 13th, in 13th, race-wise, based on position-wise. Kind of sounds better. Why do I have it that he qualified a lot further ahead? Don't know. Still doing well. Still got a race. Lots can happen. When Charlie is up for a pit at some other point. Robin, Dobbin, and GTA is slow. So the top 5 boys at the present moment, excluding from Charlie, has not gone into the pit stop. Popcorn has just passed Charlie, so that's another position made up. Again, battling for positions. He has lost some time on his teammate Alan Pace. There's still a battle. Sketty, first of the top 5 in the pits. Now again, based on what I recall, Sketty was behind his teammate Moutois. I kind of expect him to come out after Moutois. I somehow fear that ain't going to be the case, because my gut tells me that something went horribly wrong with that man. There we go. Moutois coming down the straight, teammate out the pits. He does fall behind Popcorn and Pace. That's quite a gap. Very big gap. Frankie back in the pits again. Now that's a bit unusual that the man goes and pit twice. Now remaining is the top 4 currently not pitting. They've lost a lot of momentum or something, because that's a big buffer. Berg looks a bit damaged as well. Not 100% sure what happened there, but he's not gonna go in the pits. 7 seconds adrift. Had to have had a few bad laps. I completely missed that. I am gonna keep my eye out on Pace though, because Pace coming down the straight into Clark's curve. Frost is in the pits. Frost is still in the pits. Frost is moving. Frost has regained his position back, so that's a good one for him. Pace didn't manage to make it up. It does kind of make me wonder, what did the boys do during the pits? How did they lose so much time? How did this man make up so much points and paces and positions? Well, questions to ask. Gotta get them into the interview room. I need to know, is my philosophy today. I need to know. Frankie out. Oh, that's why Frankie's in the pits. Oh, sad Frankie. I was wondering what happened there. I wouldn't have expected you to go back in the pits too. Pace! Drive through penalty. Oh. That is just going to hurt. Every momentum he has made up, all the work, only to face the drive-through in-game penalty. And that's good to see some good racing at Eleanor. Yes, there's always good racing at Eleanor. How can you question that? We just love good racing. And again, we like to broadcast it nowadays. Yeah, no, Pace needs to do a drive-through. That is going to be him in the pits. We call it the drive of shame. Not what he wanted. That releases that man. It releases Popcorn. It's going to release Skitty. Yes, Mutois. Will Mutois be ahead of Pace? That is the big question. Pace still coming out. No, out of the pits. He is ahead of Mutois, but Skitty is ahead of him now. The two big boys battling it out the whole season. Sits in 7th and 8th position as it stands. This is a race that these boys are going to want to forget. Not the outcome that they wanted. Dave's still out there, putting it on lap by lap. Currently the leader of the race. And it's only because he hasn't gone into the pit yet. He is going to maximize. This is the strategy I would have done. This is the plan I would have gone with. Go long, go far, and then do the pit stop as late as possible. Because all you need to do is that 1 or 2 laps thereafter. Your tires will warm up, you will have all the momentum with you the whole time. I'm not sure if it's going to be a good outcome or bad. Yet to see what's happened. Because again, a lot has happened in this race. Pace had a big advantage. I have no clue how that man got the advantage, but he had it. Skitty was behind his teammate Mutois at the beginning of the race. He is now ahead of him. That's only from a pit stop point of view. So something had to go wrong with that pit stop thing. Charlie is in 6th position. Now, of course, he has to pit. Where he's going to land up, I don't know. Not 100% sure. Fireblade, on the other hand, was one of the individuals that got either an incident on lap 1 or messed it up on lap 1, but his lap 1 was not where he would have wanted to be. He is fighting it back, but he's still in a position where he has qualified. So, top winners thus far, this evening, is Frost for sure, Dave, Slow, Robin, and then of course Popcorn. Big question is who is going to bring it home? We are less than 10 minutes away. Boys on chat talking a lot of things here. And again, there seems to be a lot of support there for Dave. Looking at this man, can he bring it home? I'm not so sure though. I don't know what happened. I reckon something went wrong at some point. He was in and pushing for a victory. Made good moves at the beginning of the race. Hasn't pitted yet. Somehow lost about 6 seconds before Frost went into the pits. I don't know if he's going to make that up though. Had to have made a mistake. Whatever happened, he seems to be back in form again. Frost is pushing hard. From a battling point of view, Slow and Robin is also pushing hard. These guys have been battling since lap 1. I am so cold. Like Robin would be so annoyed looking at Slow for the whole race. That is a tail end you wouldn't have expected to see for the whole race. No pits yet. Someone off the race mode. Is that NTZ? That is NTZ. A man I haven't really featured the whole race. Struggling. Getting it there, getting up to momentum, getting it to speed. Someone's in the pits. That is Slow. Slow in the pit. That does release Robin though. Now, the question stand. Can Robin put it down? Can he make it count? This is sort of where he needs to make it count. He needs to have that good in-lap. Because I guess this is now time to prep for the in-lap. Otherwise, it is an undercut. You all know undercuts in sim racing and ACC is probably the best advantage you can get. Overcut hardly works unless you can put it down, unless you can get those outlaps and in-laps sorted out. This is where it counts for Robin. Dave, still not yet. Robin making a bit of mistakes here and there. Question stands. Is Dave gonna come in now? Is he gonna hold out? These boys are making me think today. So many strategies. One would have worked, one didn't work, one fell into place, one fell out of place. Dave, is he gonna go in the pits? Is this the time? No, one more lap for that man. Alan Pace is trying to chase down Skitty. Skitty not having the best race this evening, but he is in there for sure. Frost still looking good to be the man to beat. He has two individuals ahead of him that still needs to pit. Robin in the pits. So Robin is going to go and fuel up. And now this is what I'm going to go and have a look at now. So Slow currently in 11th position from Charlie in 9th. Oh, camera angles there. It's just please. What has happened? Fireblade in 13th. Right behind Slow is Jade Doble. Right ahead of Jade Slow is Molt Gary in the McLaren. And then of course you have Charlie and Sarge. So there is a battle for 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. These boys are in close contention. Who is going to finish it up in the top 10? That is where it is. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep my eye out on these boys. Where's Robin? Robin's out. Robin is out. Look at that. This man has ducked himself right behind Alan Pace. How did that happen? Like how? What happened? Slow is in 11th. Robin is in 6th. That is a big gap. Something tells me someone did a tire change just before they did a pit stop. I don't even think that was needed. Like, is that the case? Did GTA Slow change his tires? Because Robin came out right behind Pace. He is ahead of Mutois. Dave still needs to pit. Dave hasn't pitted yet. What is going on? This is what I call leaving it for the last lap minute. Is that even possible? Someone has done a lot of testing. 22 seconds I see is the gap between this man currently in first place, this man potentially be in first place, and then of course everyone else. That has shocked me, absolutely shocked me. What a shocker. I get it, Jocks. Robin is the master of consistency. There is no two ways about it. But 2 laps prior to this, this man was right behind this man, who is now just past Mulgary for 10th spot. So he's going to go and chase down from Charlie, then he's going to chase down Sarge, and then he's going to chase down Mutois before he even gets close to Robin. That is a masterclass pit stop. That is a man that didn't change his tires, and I somehow suspect that slowed him. Dave in the pits. Frost is in the lead. There's no two ways about that. Ooh, Popcorn lapped Dave. That is Popcorn ahead of Dave. Dave has lost another position. Not what Dave did. That I can guarantee you. This man was up for a potential win. Comes out, he is in 3rd place. 2 minutes to go, about 2 seconds adrift to Popcorn, who is 6 seconds adrift to the potential race winner. Back-to-back victories for him if he can pull this off. So much has happened. Boutoir chasing down Robin. Again, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be hard. Boutoir looking at the gap. He's got the inside line. Sticks it in there. Robin sees him. Slight touch though. Slight touch. Puts it in. Makes the move. Stick. He makes the move. Oh, flashy lights there. Robin not a happy man. Probably didn't expect him to be there where he was. Contact was there. I still reckon that looked very clean. Stuck his nose in there. Made it count. Boutoir has made up 1 position. He's got a big gap between him and Skitty. Skitty is the other individual being hunted down by pace. So from a battle point of view, these boys haven't yet finished it off. Even at the end of the race, leader on the final lap. This is close. This is very close. Pace going down, sticking it up. I'm only looking at these boys because this is a battle. This is where it's gonna happen. Keeping an eye out on the guys behind as well, because this is also a battle. Not gonna stop. And this too is a battle. Who's that? Fireblade making up a position. That's happy smiles for him. From Charlie, very slow. Not 100% sure what happened there, but that man is slow. Did he run out of fuel? That sounds like a man that hasn't got fuel. That's a man that ran out of fuel. There is no more fuel for them. Charlie is going to run short of the racing line and it's not even finished yet. Eleanor, Pace and Skitty. Rear to offender. Final few corners. I'd love to know where this is going to end. Where is the race leader? Race leader coming around the corner. Final turn for him. That is Frost taking the victory. Popcorn not far ahead of him. In 2nd place. Phenomenal race. Eleanor Dave in 3rd. And then we got the battle. Skitty. Can he hold off Pace? Pace going on the outside. This is going to be a close finish between these 2 individuals. Porsche and Porsche. 4th and 5th. Boutoir in 6th. Robin flashing his lights. Sarge. And slow. Final lap corner battles there. That is where it ends. What a good finish there by Sergeant Slow. Mulgary finishing it up in 10th. Jay Doble in 11th. Fireblade in 12th. Jacko coming in 13th. I really don't know what happened with Charlie. He's back on the race. Lost so many positions. He is racing again. Jacko coming into 13th. That was unusual from him, Charlie. I'd love to know what scripture has taken place there. But he's now back in 14th. Lost momentum, lost speed. Something went horribly wrong for Charlie. He was up for a great victory there. And that is the end all of his all. Timetables, race. Frost winning tonight. Popcorn in 2nd. Apologies. Eleanor Dave in 3rd. Skitty in 4th. Pace in 5th. Boutoir in 6th. Robin 7th. Sarge. Slow Bulgari, Jaydobu, Fireblade, followed by Checo, Wim Charlie, NTZ, KLVDB, OJJ, and then of course Frankie, who had technical issues and struggles. I don't know about you. I don't know about all. But this was really, really a good race. Let's see if I can get let's see if I can get some of the good boys in here. Here we go. Frost. Let's unmute this man. Unmute yourself, Frost. Can't get the man. Frost is still in mute. Struggling and with talent. I'll kick it off. Let's go. Dave, you're probably the man that finished in a podium position. You are unmuted. So I can sort of kick it off with you instantaneously. Just get a couple of things up for you. Dave, I literally just have one question. Coming in the final podium, third place position. How did you feel coming out of the pits on probably the last 2 laps of the race going into third place?
I think that was a little bit expected. I had a little bit of an off when I was behind Frost, and that sort of took some air out of the tires on the right-hand side. So I was losing. I was lapping just over a second slower than I normally was. And I knew Popcorn, he would have put it a little bit earlier just to try and get himself that open air. So, well played to him. I mean, he made the right move there definitely and gave himself some clean air to run.
So it's all.
But yeah,
it was all the tire pressure, tire deflating. Which one? You said the right one?
It was deflating. I was worried about pitting a little bit earlier, just worried now that the puncture might hit just as I exit. So I wanted to stay out for as long as I could, just in case there was a puncture and I could change tires. But yeah, I think P3 is not bad, especially on the night. Definitely well done to Frost and Popcorn. There were some interesting moments in the beginning with pace and with AC that came right across the front of my nose. But yeah, definitely big heart.
I think it was a brilliant race, man. You were a monster in the beginning. You took down, I think, 3 guys from qualifying 5th position, putting your nose into it, sticking it into Frost, who won the race. But man, what a drive from the beginning! I was flabbergasted. You did well. Shocked that you came out in 3rd after your pit stop, but makes sense now. Makes sense.
Definitely, I'm chuffed. I mean, P3 is nothing to scoff at. I mean, there's some really quick guys. So I'm quite happy.
I would agree, man. I did. I think I think I commentated quite a bit on it tonight. I mean, big boys. When everything started on ACC, big names like Skitty, Eleanor Pace, those boys were the benchmark. And I think as the series progressed and everyone progressed, doesn't matter where you boys drive, the talent is up there. The close battles are there. GT4s makes it so much good and so fun because it brings the racing close together. So I think a brilliant race from your end. You drove magnificently, man.
No, thank you.
You had a lot of support though. Like plenty of boys on stream supported you. So I have to give out a shout about that. Guys were shouting for you for a victory. It just doesn't seem like it was meant to be today.
No, not tonight. Maybe next week. Who knows? But yeah, definitely going to be fun. Yeah, thanks to everybody.
Yeah, good ups, Popcorn. I'll get to fast legs. So let's go 3, 2, 1. I guess this week. Popcorn, twice, back to back podiums. Last week 3rd, this week 2nd. What's next week? A victory?
Next week first.
Aha!
Well, that's logical progression, I guess. Yeah, no, it was a race of 2 halves, I think. I was very surprised to see Dave like right behind me so soon. I thought he was a bit further back. And then I had a little wobble. I don't know which lap it was, but then he managed to get through there. But I was happy to just kind of sit there and wait for them and just kind of see how gaps unfolded, because I really wanted to find like a nice time to put and then see if I can get some air. which I managed to do. Yeah, so first half was exciting. Second half was a bit more processional. I know myself and Pace were together at one stage there, but then he got a drive through. So he might have potentially got a double podium there as well. Hearing now that Dave had a bit of a slower pit stop, but yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, it was fun.
It was, and again, I was, because you drive with LLR pace, you guys are team pace going. Um, I was surprised to see pace coming ahead of you out of the pits. I have no idea where that man came from
Uh,
in the second half of
Honestly,
it.
I was I was also I think did I have a little off somewhere or I got stuck behind someone? I can't quite remember. But I think it's also a case of putting at the right time as well. I was still stuck behind Frost and Dave
Mm.
as well, so that probably slowed me down a little bit too. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I just want to say, obviously, well done to Frost again. Like this guy is ridiculous. Like I thought I was close to him, but I just could not catch him. And I was hoping that Dave and him would have a little fight there, and I could take the gap, but it never happened. So
So was I, man. Close racing is definitely one of those things I expected. I didn't think it would be this close, but it was phenomenal. I think next time I'll take you in on offline discussions just to hear your honest opinion about when you saw pace come out of you ahead of you in the pit. Just want to figure out if you went come off.
yeah,
Why are you there?
I'll have to ask him and find out. But yeah, confusing
Nonetheless,
things sometimes.
great race, man. You boys brought it on stream tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. Congrats to your second place and Dave to his third. Frost, I think I need to
Thanks.
figure out. You seem to be the man to beat. 3 victories so far this series. Again, Lambo, race one, race two. Last week you came back with a victory. This week you came back smashing it. I don't know, man. Do you think anyone can catch you?
Yeah, for sure. There's a whole bunch of guys who can catch me. I've just been a little bit fortunate with how some of the stuff worked out. So yeah, the one thing I'm chuffed about is nailing my qualifying laps because it does help starting in the front, especially on this track. So yeah, I got one lap together. I think it was 0.1 or 0.15 to Neil, to Popcorn. And I was like, I can't do any better. Just don't go quicker, because I knew if I got stuck behind someone, the chances of passing was going to be slim.
Mm.
But yeah, it worked out.
It seemed to have, and it was very close between the three of you from the start. I think up until a point that Popcorn went pitted. I mean, the gap in essence was, I don't even think, more than 2 seconds. I mean, did that put a lot of pressure on you? Did you look in your rearview mirror a lot? Did you keep on seeing Dave wanting to make a move but not making a move?
It's orange. You can't miss it. Um, but no, it was intense. Yes, first popcorn in the first part, and then every now and again I was like, okay, just settle down, do a couple of push laps, try and build a gap, and then I would make a little mistake, and they would just cruise back up. And then him and Dave started fighting. I saw the cars side by side, and I was like, okay, focus now, push, push, push. And I got a small gap, and then I made a mistake again, a small mistake, just not big mistakes, but just a small mistake onto the back straight. What's that long left-hander? The name anyway. And then Dave just cruised up, and then he was just not making mistakes, and I was like, just go away, and
Mm.
he didn't go away, and it was yo-yoing. Some parts of the track I knew I started figuring out I was quicker, and then it was just about the other parts. Just don't make a mistake and don't give him half a gap, because I was pretty sure he had better and more consistent race pace. So I knew if he got ahead, it would be gone. Then he made a small mistake, and the gap went up to 6 seconds. And I told DeAndre, or told Slow, going to pit now. The gap's not going to get bigger than this. And I knew that most of the other guys had pitted, so I reckoned there would be some clean air. And I popped into the pits, didn't screw up for once. And when I got out, it was just about keeping it together, keeping an eye on popcorn again, because it was again 6 seconds, which was probably about where we left it off roughly. And then it was just, again, not making mistakes. The whole race, it was just like not making mistakes. If I had a small mistake, it was like, okay, don't put it in the grass, don't put it in the wall, rather lose a second, get it back on track, just get going again.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
about it.
it sounds intense, man. I love brain chat. It makes you want to focus, and if you don't focus, it makes it so much harder.
Mm.
I'm one for to acknowledge that
Like
the
the
minute you
headmaster standing over you with a cane the whole
yes,
time,
that's what it
looking for
feels
you
like.
to make one small mistake.
Exactly. And the minute
And
you
not,
overdrive the car, you kind of lose all your
yeah,
momentum and ability. And I think it's much harder picking it up on this track versus, I would say, the mountain. Um, I'm not so sure why. It just it always feels that way.
it feels like you've got space, and then the next moment that space sucks you into the gravel or sucks you onto the
Mm,
grass.
mm.
So it makes me relax a little, and then it bites. But I have to say a big congrats to Dave and to Popcorn again. It was one heck of a race. Dave came like I listened. I heard what you said earlier, where he just came like from nowhere on the start, 5 places back, and then suddenly he was boom all over. And I think by the second or third lap, the 3 of us already had a small gap to the rest. I was like, how did he do that? How did he do that? And then but the guys drove extremely well. It was high pressure the whole time.
Nope, definitely a good race. I don't even know where we stand from a points position. I can actually just quickly pop that up. So from a team standing point, you guys seems to be quite ahead from last week. It's gonna be very close between you and Team Pace Corn. A bit of a gap between the fast one, which is of course Skitty and Mutua, who has had an uphill of a season. Again, not easy for everyone. Everyone's on pace. It's not them driving bad. It's just been so difficult. So next week's the final round. I honestly don't know what it is. I have an idea that you guys are going to do multi-class racing. I believe the fastest guys out of the team is going to be in a GT4, and then of course we're going to have the slowest car guys on your team in a GT3. Um, that I know what track it is. I sadly don't know. So expectations is high. Double points is up for grabs. I think it's going to be a close call between Team Valentino and Team Pacecorn, I would guess. Um, so I would probably go best case because I've got the 2 teammates here. Best of luck. I don't know if you have final words for next week and what to expect. Maybe you know more than I do, but it's going to be epic.
We're all just sitting
And
or
waiting.
sitting
Yeah, we
Just
know as
sitting
much as you
waiting
do about the
for
sounds.
Okay. Normally,
time.
normally I'm on point here. So the event admins for next week's race hasn't really released what they probably have. I might have missed it. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be fun. That's about all I know. So for those boys and for you, of course, congratulations to your victory. Catch us next week, same time, same place. It's gonna be a multi-class race. That I know. The fastest boys in the team is going to be in a GT4, and the slowest boys are going to be in a GT3. Multi-class racing, epic proportions, same time, same place next week. Big ups and thanks to all our sponsors, Sky Coffee, Twins Motorsport, Steakhouse Red, and then of course thanks to our Patreons. If anyone wants to get hold of us, we are on Grid Finder. Feel free to go have a look there. We're also available on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and all those lovely channels. For those out there, have a good evening, good night, God bless, catch you next week. Cheerio.